in the inner city. You know, maybe it's because of the way I talk, dress, I don't know. You know, but, you know, it's silly, you know, because I can dance, you know, everybody knows I can dance. You want to see me dance? Hey,
yeah.
Hey, let's go. Go ride. Go ride. That was my optical conclusion, you know. That's the problem. People think because you're from a certain area or you are a certain type of person, they conclude that you relate to people that you don't know more than you do. For example, you know, I had an intern at work recently come up to me and say, "Hey, Rod, can you answer me this? Why is it that people from the city, you're from the city, right? Why is it that people from the city, you know, they wear their pants sagging and they put those little crowns in the back of their car? They put the crowns in the back of their car windows. Why?" I'm like, hell, I don't know. Why don't you ask them? You know, that's like, I mean, that's silly. That's like me coming up to you and saying, "Hey, you know, I noticed that guys in the suburbs, they really like those doctors. What's up with that?" You know, you'd be like, I don't know, ask them. And see, that's the problem, is, you know, those doctors' ads, I mean, those are whack to begin with. Which brings me to ads and commercials in general. I mean, things aren't creative anymore when it comes to commercials. Take, for example, Pepsi. And you know their ad slogan is with Ray Charles, you know, "You got the right one, baby." Yeah. I mean, can you imagine when you had the unmitigated gall to walk into the meeting, you're getting paid big dollars, and you're supposed to come up with this big $1 million ad slogan, and you come in and say, "Yeah, I got the slogan, boss. You want to hear it?" And he says, "Uh-huh." You go, "That's it!" He's like, "You're fired." You know, then there's McDonald's. You know, they got their little jingle that is like, you know, could have been made in kindergarten. You know, how's theirs go? "What you want is what you get." I hope so. I mean, that's what I expect. I mean, what are they going to say? You know, "What you get is what we put in the bag." I mean, come on. But anyway, speaking of McDonald's, I did work at McDonald's. It was one of my first jobs, and I worked for minimum wage. Anybody else work at McDonald's? It's not a bad gig, except for the minimum wage. You know, minimum wage, you know what that really is? It's not necessarily a monetary figure. It's a statement. And that statement is demoralizing. What they're trying to say to you when they pay you minimum wage is, if I could pay you less, I would. But there are laws against that, so I can't. And that makes me mad. I mean, that's what they're saying to you, right? Channel 10 tried to have a similar philosophy, but we got a union. I'm probably going to get fired for that, right? Again, we do have a union. Wow, this is kind of eerie. It's like, this is, you know, like that feeling like you've done something before, you know, that's called, well, this is like different, because it feels like I've never done this. It's kind of my version of bourgeoisie. I mean, I've never done this. I guess, you know, as far as that's concerned, you know, Big Brother, Big Sister is a good cause, and I'm really glad to be a part of this. And one of the reasons is, I mean, it's really cool, you know, your big brother calls and says, "Hey, buddy, you want to go for a game?" It's a lot of times better than having a biological brother, as you know. I mean, your big brother or sister calls and says, "Hey, pal, come with me." If you have a biological brother or sister, they're like, "Get away from me." Get out of here. You know, they want nothing to do with you. They buy you, you know, Christmas presents that only they want to use, you know. "Here's a basketball for you." You see it. Speaking of basketballs, yeah, Chuck Keith was supposed to be here today, and I was going to do a couple jokes about him, and he's been a real innovator in his field. You know, he had a 6'8" point guard, whatever his name was, I can't remember. But he also, if you've noticed, Judd pulls the bench away from the sidelines. Now, the public line is, he doesn't want people to hear what he's trying to say on the sidelines. But the real deal is, Judd had a habit years ago of having a pregame meal of, well, beans and cheap beer. And he got ready to call timeout, and he was like, just to avoid playing the game of, you know, whoever smelled it does it, whoever knew it blew it. You know, he was ahead of the game. I respect that. And finally, you know, Judd graduates a lot of players. I mean, Greg Kelson and Greg Kelson. You know, recently a friend of mine went to his sister's graduation party, high school graduation, and she happened to graduate on her 18th birthday. And his dad, who was divorced, was kind of spiteful about the whole situation concerning the gal's mother. And he says to her, you know, "Little girl, you know what today is? Today is my graduation." She goes, "It's your 18th birthday as well. And that means I don't have to pay child support anymore. And she's like, well, that's fine, Daddy. He goes, no, this is so good, you won't even understand how I feel inside. Your mother will never get another dime from me. And he says, matter of fact, I want you to go home real quickly down the street, she only lives right down the block, and you tell her she has seen the last child support payment from me ever. And I want you to run back real quickly, and I want you to tell me about the expression on her face when you tell her that. So his daughter runs home, and she comes back 20 minutes later, and he said, little girl, did you tell your mom that she had seen the last child support payment from me? She goes, yeah, Daddy, I told her. And he goes, well, what did she say? And she said, well, she told me to tell you that you ain't my real daddy, and for me to tell her about the expression on your face.